Hi everyone, it's Keren here from tuppancecolour.co.uk. Thank you for joining me. Today's project is another one of my kinetic cards, and it features this cute little kitty cat who is playing with a ball of wool, and when you pull the tab, out pops a message. It's quite an easy project to do, and if you want to stay with me, I'll show you how it's done. I'm going to be stamping using this set, which is called You Little Furball, and it's a two-step set, so you can have your choice of which body you want on your little cat, and you've got a choice of two heads. So I'm going with that head because it's more like a Persian cat, and I've got a Persian, and I'm using Tangelo Twist. I'm going to begin. And I'm going to begin by stamping the cat's body onto just a piece of scrap card. Okay, so that's that bit done. Right, now for the cat's head, if I just try and place it, doing it by eye, the chances are that I'll place it too high or too low and it won't come out very well. So I'm going to be using my Stamp-a-ma-jig. So to use the Stamp-a-ma-jig, it's two-part thing. You've got an imaging sheet, which is a piece of heavy plastic, and a handle. And to use the Stamp-a-ma-jig, you can use it either side. I think I'll use it that way because you can see it more clearly. You push, get that right. Right. So you put your handle down and you make sure that you've got your imaging sheet pushed right up against it, and then I'm doing this left-handed just to prove that it can be done, and try not to let it move, and just bring in your stamp, push it right up into the corner and press down and stamp. Alright, and that's your helper, as it were. So now I'm going to place the imaging sheet and put the little cat's head where I would like it when I'm finished, and I'm going to bring the handle back in and bring it back down. And this is why I've holding my paper down with a bit of post-it notes, because I do not want that to move. So here I come again, and again I'm doing this left-handed, and I am not left-handed. So, and there it is. As I said, I even did that using my left hand. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fussy cut that out, and then we'll move on to the next step. Here's my base card. It's just a piece of heavy duty cardstock, which I've cut to 5 3/4 by 8 inches, and I've just folded it in half. I have to think for a minute there so that it's a tent fold. We are getting, in the new catalogue, we are getting heavy duty with white, but it's not here yet. So this is just some 300 GSM card, which I happen to have about my person. And I've cut 2 more pieces of card. This one is Lost Lagoon, and that is, let me see, 3 3/4 inch by about 5 1/4, and this piece is just a little bit smaller all round. And I've gone ahead and stamped them because, you know what, we can all do stamping. I've stamped them with this stamp set, which is called Flowering Flourishes, and I've used these 2 stamps out of the set of 3, and I've cut out the middle of the larger piece of card with the Framelets Deco labels, and I used not the biggest one, the second biggest one. So that's all ready to go. Now I want to cut a slit in this piece of card so that my mechanism can move, so that my little cat can move. Sorry about the bump. So I've prepped up my Stampin' Trimmer, and I want this to be at around about, I think it was 1.5 inches, no, 1 3/4 inches, and I've marked with a bit of masking tape where I want to start and finish cutting, so that I haven't got to guess it or eyeball it. So make sure that that hasn't moved. That's in pretty much the right place. So I'm going to start cutting here and I'm going to finish cutting there. So here we go. Let's get my hand out of the way so you can see. A nice little pointer on the cutting blade makes it precise. Now I'm not sure, I may have to cut a slit. So let me just check that. This is a piece of card which is 1.5 inches long, and it's about 1/2 inch wide. That's not critical. And I've scored and folded it at 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and 1.25 inches, and I folded it so that it's kind of like that. And I've already put some sticky strip on the back. So I'm doing that. I'm just testing this because I may need to cut a second slit because I want this to move quite smoothly. So that goes through there and pops out there, and that actually does move. Will that move? That will just about move. So I'll tell you what, we'll risk it. We'll risk it for a biscuit. So I'm going to put my stamping trimmer to one side as the stamping trimmer hits the floor. Right, so this is going to sit on my mechanism. So to make the mechanism, I've cut a piece of card, and that is 4.5 inches long, and it's about 2 inches wide. Yeah, 2 inches wide, and I've wrapped a piece of plastic around it so it's in an endless belt. Okay, and this is going to sit on there. Right, so, oh, and I've put sticky strip on that side, and I've put sticky strip on that side, because that is what is going to help everything stay in place. Alright, so I'm going to line that up. And start again. New shot. Alright, now I want to make the mechanism that makes it all work, that makes it all move in different directions. So I have cut myself a piece of scrap card which is 4.5 inches long by about 2 inches wide, and I've cut a plastic belt. Can you see that? Again, it's out of a piece of, it's a document wallet which I've chopped a bit off, and I've stuck it around the plastic so it forms an endless belt and it moves around. And you don't want to stick that too tight. You want to have a bit of movement there, because otherwise it makes it very, very difficult to move. I folded it at 1/2 inch on that side and 1/2 inch from that side, and I've got my sticky strip ready on either side. First of all, I'm going to attach my eye fold piece. Alright, so what I've got here again is just a piece of cardboard, and it's roughly 1.5 inches long, and I've scored it at think about this now, I've folded it at 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch, and then at the 1 inch and 1.25 inch mark. So, and then it's folded so that it goes that way. Right, can you see that? And that is what the cat's going to sit on. So I'm going to take the sticky strip off the back, and it'll probably be easier if I take my I can't remember the name of it. My piercing tool, my pokey tool. Take my pokey tool to it to get that off. There we go. And that is going to sit nice and firmly on the edge of that. And now here's my piece of card which I cut the gap out of, and I'm going to feed that through there, which is a little bit fiddly, particularly when you're worried about getting your head into shot. Come on, it can be done. There you go. You just need to be firm with it. Pull that through and fold those pieces out. Alright, and that's now sitting in place. So I've now got my little tab bit through my slit, and I've checked to make sure that it all works, and the more it works the better it'll get, because it'll create its own little channel. And I've stuck down the back of it to the underlying card. All right. The reason why I went to a cut there was because when I accidentally took that tape off instead of that tape, and I then promptly proceeded to stick the band around, stick the band to the sticky strip. So don't do that. All right, it's not a good look. It doesn't work terribly well. Okay, just don't do it. It's not good. All right. So now I've got my my frame, and I'm going to go ahead and place that on top, and I'm going to use a couple of Stampin' Dimensionals on that one. Or am I? Yes, I am. I think I will. Let's live dangerously. So I'm lining this up. There we are. Right, now I've got my little kitty cat, which I've previously fussy cut out. So onto this piece here, I'm going to put another dimensional, and I'm going to apply the back of the cat's head to the dimensional. And I have here it's a piece of just again scrap card which I've stamped out with a cut out with a 3/4 of an inch punch, and I've just wrapped some twine around it, and this is what my little cat's going to be chasing. So again, dimensional. Could have used a glue dot, but do you know what, dimensional worked just fine. And this end. Right, so from the same stamp set, the You Little Fur Ball, I've stamped this sentiment. A friend like you comes along once in 9 lives, and that's a piece of pool party which is 1 inch wide by 5 inches long, and I've nipped the end out with my hexagon punch. Just put it in there and just nicked it. And before I stamped, I marked 2 inches in from this edge, because that's how long I need to make sure that when it's pulled, I need to make sure that when the cat's over there, that this sentiment is sticking out here. Does that make sense? So I'm now going to stick that to the bit at the back when I can find the end of the sticky strip. And again, in our new Stampin' Up catalogue, we are getting a paperback tape, which I haven't got to use yet, which we're going to be able to cut without scissors. and they say it's as strong as a sticky strip, so we will have to wait to see. Right, now this is the start position, so I want this to be hidden, and I want about that much sticking out, so put that onto the plastic at the back, and hopefully when I pull that, yes, it works. Right, now, never the straightest person in the world when it comes to sticking things down, so let's hope that that works. And there you are. So when I pull that, my little kitty cat, moves, which is better if I do it like that, because that's not as strong as it could be. Okay, so I'm going to tidy that up, and I'll come back in a second and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all finished. Alright, nearly finished. What I've done now, I've stamped the I Think You're Perfect sentiment, again from that You Little Fur Ball set, and I've just trimmed it just very roughly with my snips, and now I'm going to make a flag or tab end. So the way I'm going to do it on this one is I'm just going to snip up halfway and then snip in and snip out. If my hands would cooperate, there we are. I think that's just about right. And I'll put that on with a glue dot. When I can find the end, there we are. There's the last one. That'll do nicely. Go. And I've adjusted the position of the yarn, and I've stuck that down with a glue dot as well. So where should we put this? That looks good to me. And there we are. Job done. So do that. Little cat goes out, and push in. Go. And that's it. So thank you very much for joining me. If you'd like any more details about me or about the project, then there's a direct link underneath the video, and I hope I'll see you again soon. Bye bye now.